Hi, my name is Sahas and I'm a rising senior at Monte Vista High School. This is my second milestone. To detect how many times the wheel is rotated and to detect the heading at which the car is pointing towards. So this is an example of the wheel, counting how many times the wheel is rotated, or the distance at which the car is going. So if I move it forward and backward, it increments the distance that the car has traveled in feet. And I can show the heading here. So I need to give it some time to calibrate, but once it does, I can. It shows the heading, and if I move it left or right, it changes based on what direction it's headed. To measure how far the wheel is rotated, I use this here. It works as an optical encoder. What an optical encoder does is it finds highs and lows in the wheel's rotation. So the highs for me would be if that light sensor you might be able to see is not behind a spoke, and the low is if it's behind a spoke. However, the light-dependent resistor varies its resistance based on how much light it sees, but the Raspberry Pi cannot directly measure the resistance of the sensor. So on the bottom here, I attached some capacitors which allow me to charge and discharge the circuit, and I can measure how long it takes for the capacitor to charge and discharge. However, it's relatively slow, and it would be sped up a lot if I used a more accurate sensor. But by decreasing the capacitance, by increasing the number of capacitors in series, I'm able to make the time small enough where it's viable for my application. And to measure the heading, I use the Adafruit Imu, which measures things like your orientation, but also your acceleration, the magnetic field, and among other things. And I'm able, through UART communication, to interface with the chip, and it sends me information like my roll, pitch, yaw, heading, and all this other stuff. My next milestone will be to make the car move in a straight line, because even if I move the motors a little bit left or right, it can still veer off course, and I need to make sure it can stay on course for it to move autonomously. Alright, thank you.